Soo-hyun began to wake up and saw Woo-yeol sleeping on the sofa. He was still half awake, questioning himself about what had happened, and why he was there, and wondering why that guy was sleeping across from him. From what he could recall, Woo-yeol had carried him in, and Soo-hyun realized he was wearing Woo-yeol's jacket. This made him curious about why Woo-yeol had helped him. Did he appear like a pitiful runaway to Woo-yeol? Even so, it still didn't make sense. In a flashback, he had asked the professor about why Woo-yeol was chosen as a target. Was it because he had no one? And the professor disagreed, stating that just because they were devil didn't mean they kill people without reason. They only target those they deem awful, so Soo-hyun shouldn't feel guilty about killing him. Looking at the profile they had, they chose Woo-yeol because he was heartless, stone cold, and a serial killer. Considering the term serial killer, Soo-hyun thought that a serial killer would never be kind, and the murder must be holding him prisoner. He speculated that Woo-yeol had kidnapped him and took the opportunity to sit on top of him, questioning why bother asking since understanding a serial killer mindset was useless. He believed he had a chance to kill Woo-yeol while he was still sleeping. As Soo-hyun tried to strangle him, Woo-yeol suddenly spoke in his sleep saying, "Damn it," which startled Soo-hyun, making him think that Woo-yeol was awake. Woo-yeol continued to talk in his sleep, stating that he would kill someone. Soo-hyun thought that he might be dreaming of murdering someone, trying to convince himself that there was no good in killing a murderer and that he was doing what he was right. Soo-hyun continued to strangle Woo-yeol, hoping he would die then and there. However, suddenly Woo-yeol moved his hand, and Soo-hyun noticed that he was getting aroused. This made Soo-hyun wonder if Woo-yeol was already awake. Woo-yeol kept saying, "Come closer," and Soo-hyun thought he was talking in his sleep. Suddenly, Woo-yeol began to fondle Soo-hyun's buttocks, and the inappropriate touching made Soo-hyun's hands go weak. Woo-yeol continued to rub Soo-hyun's butt, and Soo-hyun realized that it felt so wrong, making him wonder if Woo-yeol was only pretending to be asleep. Suddenly, Woo-yeol pulled him closer, and their bodies pressed against each other. Soo-hyun felt something hard underneath. Unsure of what to do, he wondered how a guy could be so strong in his sleep. Woo-yeol attempted to slip his hand underneath, but Soo-hyun shouted to stop and called him a crazy bastard, and Soo-hyun fell to the floor. Woo-yeol woke up asking what was wrong with Soo-hyun, as he had interrupted a perfectly good dream where Soo-hyun climbed on top of him and tried to choke him. Woo-yeol mentioned that he had carried Soo-hyun in and couldn't believe he was called a crazy bastard after showing gratitude by attacking him. Soo-hyun was shocked by what Woo-yeol said and asked if Woo-yeol had been awake the whole time, and Woo-yeol confirmed that he was. With a panicked expression, Soo-hyun asked about when Woo-yeol missed his butt. Woo-yeol replied that he was teasing Soo-hyun, obviously. Soo-hyun expressed his anger toward Woo-yeol, who told him to calm down because it's dangerous when he starts reacting. Soo-hyun placed his foot between Woo-yeol's legs, noticing that he was still aroused, and Woo-yeol commented that if Soo-hyun moved like that, he will feel stimulated. In deep inside, Woo-yeol only meant to tease him a little, but after seeing his dumbfounded face makes him wanna do something to him. And suddenly, Woo-yeol pulled him closer and started to kiss him and lick his lips. Soo-hyun couldn't say anything, and he put a blank look on his face. Woo-yeol stopped and remarked, "Oh, a boring reaction like yours are a mood killer. Not even a Woo-yeol erection can survive." Woo-yeol had expected a fair response, but concluded that Soo-hyun had seemed empty. Soo-hyun continued thinking and rubbing his lips. Soo-hyun suddenly asked whether that is what Woo-yeol likes to do, and suddenly Soo-hyun tried to sit on top of him, saying it's not that bad and he want to do it one more time. Woo-yeol was still in disbelief, so he asked him, "Are you sure?" having a change of heart, because Soo-hyun don't look like he actually wanna do it. But since Soo-hyun asked for it, he has no reason to refuse. And they kiss, and in deep inside, Woo-yeol says he wouldn't be the first to cling to a stranger out of loneliness. Their kisses getting intense, and Woo-yeol about to explode. He started to put him on the sofa and asked Soo-hyun if it was okay for him to do more than kissing. Unexpectedly, Soo-hyun replied with, "It's up to you. Either way, he's screwed if he didn't do what he wanted." Woo-yeol didn't understand why he suddenly said that. He asked Soo-hyun, "What you mean by screwed? Something bad's gonna happen to you, or what?" Woo-yeol disappointed and said, why would Soo-hyun say that when they were right in the thick of things? Because there's no way he can keep going. He said even his little friend is screwed too, while pointing at his sausage. But Soo-hyun still has no idea what is he talking about. Meanwhile, Woo-yeol started to review his thought considering Soo-hyun's action in the alleyway, and none of this is surprising. And from what Will saw, maybe Soohyun was afraid of dying alone and want someone to accompany him in death. But Soohyun looked way too focused for that to be the case. And suddenly, Will glanced at him and asked right away if someone hired him to kill Will. And Soohyun shows a reaction that say, "How did he know?" And Will assuming that he's right. Will knew things were too quiet and he just moved off his habit. He knew the people who put a hit on him. Soohyun was trying to say that it's not people, but of course he can say it. Will started to confess that he had a deal with plenty of guys like Soohyun who were hired to come after him. And I can believe it come from Will's mouth saying people are scary. Meanwhile, Soohyun still looked clueless. Will told him to come closer, and in deep inside, Will was being considerate saying, anyone can see that it's dangerous to leave the kid to fend for himself, so he will be generous and take him in. Well, Will trying to find something to give to him, finally he found the spare key. He said that was the only one he had, so he told Soohyun to not lose it. Will assured Soohyun that he will help him so he won't get screwed by moving him with Will. Soohyun saw a shocked reaction because he wasn't expecting that coming from him. He told Soohyun don't look so shocked and just take the key. And Will makes a deal with Soohyun as a payment for housing and security. Will gets to use Soohyun's body whenever he wants.